Last night, Donald Trump would announce his 2024 presidential campaign. Many expected Trump to make this announcement, and even though the news wasn't out of the blue, several news outlets seemed surprised and outraged. Now, this is Trump's second time running for president, and comedian D.L. Hughley will react to the news by reposting Trump's announcement with the caption, "This ninja here." Today, we have our comedy hype analyst, Yamanika Saunders, and Pierre calling to the studio, along with very special guest, Miss Regina Jackson, to give their thoughts and reactions. But first, let's take a look at this clip.
In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
Now, before we dive into DL's reaction, I'm curious to get your reactions first. So, Pierre, I'm going to start with you. What was your initial reaction when you saw Trump make this announcement for his return?
Let me take my headache pills because my head is hurting. I just don't know how to. Jesus Christ! The devil has returned again. I mean, it just is monotone bullshit. Talking again and are people going to fall for that again? Really? It's just the same BS. He's bringing people together like it's never been done before. You mean unlike when Obama brought all people together? I guess forget that. He's talking about, we're being run over by other places and we have fear like you did with Russia, that Russia run over us. It's just, man, I think Trump is just delusional, man. It's amazing. It's amazing that he has this platform and he can just talk and that people are still cheering for him. But welcome to America.
Yamanika, I'm interested to know, what was your initial reaction when you first saw this announcement from Trump?
It was the same feeling I had when I realized it was a Terminator 2. It was like, didn't we already get rid of this nigga in Terminator 1? How many sequels of this nonsense are we gonna have? Is it gonna be 102 Dalmatians, Cruella DeVille back again?
Damn.
The way, no creature on earth is stronger than a white man who want to do whatever the hell he want to do in this country. The only thing stronger than that is maybe a cockroach up in Harlem. But other than that, a white
easy.
He want to do is he just resurrected from the dead. They're gonna have to move Halloween to November 15th.
I appreciate both of you for the comedic relief in that. Oh my gosh. Miss Regina, I want to bring you in first. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're very interested and, very happy to have you here to be able to add some insight. When you first saw this announcement from former President Trump, I'm interested to know, what was your reaction to it?
Well, I have to tell you, first of all, I can't believe you guys made me sit through this. What I am thankful to former President Trump for is 2015, when he ran, he kept me off of TV. Girl, I quit watching TV, and I haven't watched TV since then because I didn't want to see him, hear him, or hear about him. So that is the one good thing that came out of his presidency. We all know he is a malignant narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
And what they do is burn down everything that comes in contact with him, everything. And if the Republicans keep putting him up, he is going to burn down the Republican Party, and they deserve it.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, of course, D.L. Hughley would chime in on this, so I want us to take a look at that clip, and then I'm going to come back and get your thoughts and reactions on that. Let's take a look at that clip.
Trump is going to announce his presidential campaign tonight.
Well, 3 times in a row he lost. He's lost 3 times in a row. And he actually lost 4 times in a row because he lost the popular election. But people on the right seem to love losing. They love the Confederate flag, which is the symbol of losing.
But don't they know they're shooting themselves in the foot by letting this guy win the nomination?
Yeah, I think the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again. Either it's the definition of insanity or the new definition of the GOP. But thanks. Keep doing it.
Is he going to destroy the party then?
I think the party's already destroyed.
Now, of course, D.L. Hughley will also post on Twitter, and here's a tweet that he says. He says, "Let me get this straight. Hashtag Colin Kaepernick takes a knee, loses his job forever. Hashtag Donald Trump stokes an armed insurrection, steals classified documents, and loses 3 election cycles in a row, but he's applying for his again." I love to come to you, Pierre, to get your thoughts and reactions to what you hear from DL. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, Yeah, I'm seeing trying to do the similarities, but you know, can the government stop you from running for? Can the government stop you from running for the presidency? You know, NFL can stop a player from not playing in the football in the league if your coaches don't want to hire him and stuff like that. So I don't know that the similarity, but I guess at the end of the day, you know, we're saying if you act a fool, can you keep on doing what you're doing? Well, I mean, yeah, you can. Obviously, in America, you can, as long as you're an independent worker, and Trump's an independent worker. So yeah, this tomfoolery will go around. I'm gonna call it Trump foolery. This Trump foolery will be coming around again. This train, and you know, like our guest said, you know, I'm about to turn my TV off because I can't take it next year. But next year, if he's gonna be talking this crazy, I'm not about to argue with people about. You know, we saw what he did once. He's no different. He's not going to be anything different than he was last time. It's sad that so many people put that kind of pressure on Biden, like Biden ain't done nothing. Well, white folks, guess what? When your person don't do enough for you, they still vote for him. We're very emotional about it. We're like, man, he didn't do something for me personally, so I ain't voting for Biden. So Biden may not win again. I don't think Trump's going to win because, you know, Pence is going out for it, and the guy, I think DeSantis from Florida, he's going out, and they're a little bit stronger than Trump, but we'll see. You know, I didn't think Trump was going to win the first time, so we never know.
Yeah, Monica, let me get you to chime in. After seeing D.L. Hughley respond to this, what are your thoughts to his reaction?
I was trying to figure out if he was already leaving the country, because wasn't he in Bangladesh doing that interview? I'm like, let us know what's going on, DL. If you left, let me know so I can go ahead and get my damn robe and shit and get the hell up out of here too. I think, you know, listen, Ms. Jackson said it the best, and I understand it because I've been in a relationship with a narcissist, and a malignant narcissist is the worst. And the Republican Party is under a trauma bond with Trump, and that's the thing where, you know, one of the things DL was talking about is like, how can you consistently vote for somebody who is not serving you, your interests, and actually sort of devastating your life? And it is because they're under this Stockholm syndrome, this trauma bond. And we got to remember, let's cut to the basics. America's racist. You know, they keep saying America's run on Duncan. America don't run on Duncan. It run on racism and white people running amok and hillbillies. And the reality is, once you get a large group of hillbillies who feel like this country is not theirs anymore, and when they say not theirs, they mean that niggas is able to walk around freely and breathe air, that we ain't in chains and bonded. Like, that's what they trying to go back to. They trying to go back to the Mayflower and the rest of these damn, the Santa Maria, the Pinta, all these other, they trying to go back to later hosens and shit, and damn, whatever them pants are with the stockings all the way up to the thigh. They trying to go back to the Pilgrim shit. Do you understand what I'm saying? Where they had, you think monkeypox was the problem when they had the damn whatever the other pox that they was giving the Indians with the blankets. I'm telling you, it's two different realities. Y'all think y'all going back to something? They know exactly where they want to go back. They going back to the future before Michael J. Fox had Parkinson and before black people.
Damn.
Yeah.
Now, Ms. Regina, I hear you. I hear you chiming in on this. I love, of course, I'd love for you to react to the D.L. Hughley portion, but I want to move us along as well. I know, you know, we've seen how white women voted during Trump's last election. You do a great deal of great work, whether it's with Race to Dinner or your book, White Women. So I'm interested to get your thoughts. You know, the rate that white women voted for Trump during his last election, despite all the things and the rhetorics that he said about women, it leaves the question, do you think white women identify more with their race before they do with their actual gender? Or, you know, what is it there that we're seeing?
Are white before they're anything else. And what they're protecting is their power. And the reason why they don't speak up and vote differently is two things: white, social capital, and being part of the white race, okay? So we know those two things keep them from being anti-racist. You know, they're always white first, and they're going to protect that, okay? And the reason why I say that is who are the mass shooters pretty much in this country?
White.
Young
men.
White men. Who are they shooting up mostly in this country? White kids. Now, if you are change your vote because your children are getting shot up in their schools, what are you going to change it for? See, they would rather be white and maintain their power than protect their own children. And we know this. They tell us, because we ask them, why aren't you guys, why do we still have this proliferation? And it's all about money. Every time there's a mass shooting, white dudes go out and buy more guns, okay? So they keep perpetuating the same problem, and they don't stop it. They won't even stop it for the lives of their own little white children.
I think that's an amazing point that Ms. Jackson just made, because white women vote against their own special interests a lot because of white men. And when we talked about last week, Stacey Abrams, and while we did acknowledge that Black men did vote for her, what we have to understand is when we look in the comments section of the video about the support that Black men did give her, and that is the Black men that went to the polls, we had Black men talking about, oh, well, we don't want to support her because she said things against Black men and all these things that they made up that were not even true. So when you have white women who have a president who said, I'm grabbing chicks in their vagina, and then they go, oh my God, not my president. And then they hide their pussies everywhere because they scared their president gonna put his hand on their pussy. And then they still run to the polls. And then the next year, the next time they go around, they double down and go up 3%. From the last time they had nonsense. And then you have Black people always have this sort of altruistic idea that we have to do everything according to this and that. And we're the only ones trying to cross our I's and dot our T's and be respectable in the eyes of people who don't give a about us.
Thank you.
And that's true. What these two ladies, that's what they said. They're definitely correct what they said. One thing I noticed about us is we move on emotions, even if it's false emotions. I mean, even if it's false information. If like you said, what they said that Black men didn't vote for Stacey, what Stacey had said in the past, we hear something and we go right after and say, I don't want to deal with it. White folks would be like, you gotta give me proof, or even when I see the proof, I'm still staying on my mission. We can get knocked off our mission by someone saying something that maybe they didn't even say, didn't come out their mouth. You can just say, even you can say somebody's gay, a candidate's gay. I ain't gonna vote for him. There's no proof he's gay, but I ain't gonna vote for him. We're too much like that instead of finding out the facts before we make our decision. We're quickly to be emotionally changed or switched off or something because we hear something, hearsay, and that's a shame. Well, white folks don't do that. You can tell, you can show them something. You can hear the tape with Donald Trump say, I grab women in the vaginas, and white people still say, it don't work. He ain't grabbing mine. We can hear some falsely, like I said, somebody said he didn't like a Black woman, and we're not going to vote for them no more. No proof of that. But that's the thing. We need to stay with what we believe in and stay with it until we win. But we're quick to get pushed off and jump on jump off the bandwagon, but jump off of something because what we hear say. And I think that's ridiculous. And white folks don't do that.
For everybody Black, unless you're a Republican. I ain't
heard
voting
that.
for no Black Republicans, and I tell people they're still in the closet. Black Republicans are still in the closet, okay? So, these people, I can't even think of her name. She's so pitiful. One of the things we're trying to do with Race to Dinner and the book White Women is give Black people permission to stop tiptoeing around what white people think. Fuck what they think. Fuck their feelings.
There you go.
We're going to tell our truth, okay? We're going to tell our truth, and it is not about what their feelings. Our pain and suffering is not synonymous with what they feel.
Right. But also, in order for us to execute that, Ms. Jackson, we have to have power, right? Put in place. Because here's the thing. Number one, I'm going to go get the book White Women. And I have to just put an addendum to this. Most of the niggas watching this, that's not a book on how to get white women. Because you got to clear that up.
You wrong. You cold-blooded. You cold-blooded, girl.
White women. Let me go on out here,
No, you cold-blooded.
The reality is, one of the things that we do, right, is we like to do a comparison and then a switch. We go, well, how come they can do this? And how come this? And we've been doing this for a long time, especially when somebody gets killed and we see the cops kill Black people. Then we go, well, if it was a white person, we need to get out of that mentality and we need to start building a power structure, because the reality is these people are able to do what they are able to do because they stick together and they have power.
Yep.
Nobody has been as disrespected as the Black race in America. I don't give a fuck where else we talking about. I'm talking about in America. And we reap very few benefits of the shit that we have been through here because we fighting amongst each other. You got the old talking against the young, young talking against the old, men talking against the women. Then you got people disrespecting each other. I don't want to go back and help my people out. It's just a mess. We have zero power and we're not building any power because we don't know how to stick together and love one another. White people love each other, or they don't love each other.
No, they hate each other. They hate each other.
Regardless, just like the Jackson said, they don't care. You killed their baby brother yesterday. If you running for president tomorrow, they gonna vote for you because you white. Vote for everybody Black who's Democrat. I said that years ago. I don't care. Anybody name that look Black, I'm voting for them. I don't give a fuck if the candidate's name is Niggy Niggerson. I'm voting for him.
He's the candidate. I know Niggy.
Now, Regina, I want to bring you in because you guys are hitting so many amazing points here. But Regina, I want to bring you in because you actually take the time to sit down with white women. I want to read a post of yours and I'm going to come back and ask a question. So on Race to Dinner, it says, we work with white women a lot in real life, online, on the phone. What we hear over and over again is this: self-loathing. White people hate themselves. If you hate yourself and control everything, you make horrific decisions for humanity. You harm those below you in ecosystem first, but then you hurt yourselves too. And of course, you would go on to explain that. So I just want to open up that opportunity for you to expand on that here. What are some of those conversations like? What are some of the things that you and your team revealed or was able to see in those conversations with white women, whether it was in person and or on the phone?
Well, it's kind of like White Women, the Broadway musical, okay? Every dinner, we see the same behavior: deflect, defend, deny, the eye rolling, the arm crossings, the civil rights resume. We see it all. And we see it at every dinner. And they have so much self-loathing. They have taught to be nice, and do not confuse nice with kind, okay? White nice is avoiding tough conversations. And that's why it's a challenge to get these women to come to these dinners, because they don't talk about bad stuff. You know, they don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, and they don't want to have tough conversations. They would rather be comfortable than authentic. So we see that. They hate each other. Syra talked about trying to be a white woman for 30 years. And she said, you go out to dinner with a group of white women and somebody goes to the bathroom and they just gossip about that person while they're gone. So there's all this self-loathing. They are taught to be perfect. Well, we know that's not a possibility, but white women will strive for that. They want to be the prettiest, the thinnest. Someone said, if white women spent as much time being anti-racist as they did trying to be thin, we wouldn't even be here, okay? So they've got all this terrible behavior that they've been taught, and they bring that into the world. If I were to go out and hit my dog on the sidewalk, 100 white people would be there. But if someone's out there beating a Black man on the sidewalk, they pretend like they don't see it, because they don't want to deal with the harsh realities of the country that we live in. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to do anything about it. And we say, you are in fact upholding white supremacy. And how's that work for you? How's being nice work for you? Has it gotten you pay equity with white men? Has it gotten you bodily function rights? But yet y'all keep voting for these same people. So that in itself is self-loathing. If someone's hurting me and I'm going to keep voting for him, I must hate myself, right? That would be your conclusion, right? I don't love myself, or I would be doing something to protect myself. Well, they don't. The other thing that drives them is that white solidarity. White solidarity is a big deal. You know, even if they disagree, they will sit at a table and listen to anti-Black jokes, anti-Jewish jokes, anti-Indigenous jokes, because they don't want to break that white solidarity. They don't want to be the person that's outside of that.
Absolutely. Now, Pierre, of course, if you'd like to respond to that, I'm going to open the floor for you to do so. But I also want to move us forward with the question, you know, with all these layers, right, it seems to be there's a strong loyalty from the Black community to the Democratic Party. You know, that's primarily where we vote in. And I don't think that's necessarily the problem. But I'm just curious, what is it that, you know, the Democratic Party is missing that we're seeing the Republicans do? Is it something that the Republicans are getting right that Democrats are not? Like, what exactly do you feel like we're missing that we're seeing from the Republicans?
The Republicans are getting whiteness right. You know, we are going to protect whiteness at all costs. And Black people who fall for that are a big part of the problem. So that's what the Republicans are getting right. And you hear Trump, he will say, how many times have we heard that man say, and the Republicans repeat, the election was stolen, the election was stolen, the election was stolen. You repeat something enough times, people start to believe it.
Pierre, let me ask that question to you. And of course, if you want to respond to Ms. Regina, what are your thoughts? What do you think that the Democrat Party is missing that we're seeing the Republicans get right?
Well, one thing I want to say about her, I like what she said about the white women situation. I think a lot of times white women or white people, when they feel like if they want to be friends with Blacks or whatever, however you want to do it, I think they feel like they're reaching down, they're going low, opposed to someone on the same level. Yeah, exactly. Like a favor. Like I'm reaching down. I lower my standards. I lower who I am to help you out or be around you as a Black person instead of the reverse. That's why they probably don't hang around these white women don't hang around Black people as much, or Black women. And, you know, they feel superior over them at the end of the day. Yep. And I think that, and I have a white mother. You know, I had a white mother, but she was a European white mother. She married a Black man, so she ain't part of that room that you were sitting there, and she would fight for that kind of stuff. But again, you know, low hanging fruit, come on in the comments. That's your white mama, all right, white side, whatever. I would say the Democrats, well, I like what she said, basically vote Black, but what we getting right, getting wrong? Well, the Democrats, I believe the Democrats won the Senate and the Republicans won the House. I'm believing that. So they don't have a pull on one way or the other, you know, kind of even itself out. I don't know. If I knew the solution, I don't know. I don't know what Republicans are getting right besides what we've been saying. They're going to vote for their best interest, and no matter what, I don't care if the candidate's an asshole, a fool, says some stuff, have abortions, baby mama drama, they're going to vote for their interest all the time. Us as Black folks,
Walker is a prime example.
There you go. Exactly, Herschel Walker. Us as Black folks, if we don't like you, we heard something about you, this ain't about you, you this, you that, you this, we ain't going to vote. Even though it can help our interests out. That Black person, Democrat can help our purpose out, our reason out, what we need. If we hear something we don't like, a lot of times we back up. I ain't gonna mess with them. And there you go. Look what's gonna happen with Biden. Biden ain't done nothing for me. All right, well, Trump gonna come back in and see what he does again for your ass, because then you're gonna vote for him. Okay, the people who voted first last time gonna vote for him again. So let's see if he wins over the other two candidates.
Mercy. Let me bring you in, Yamanika, and get your thoughts on that as well. Of course, if you'd like to add to the conversation and pieces that have been stated. But the question is, you know, what do you feel Democrats are missing that maybe Republicans are getting right, being that we continue to see this continued cycle?
Democrats aren't missing anything. There's no sense of urgency for white Democrats. Everything is on the line for people of color and other subcultures here. So with the Democrats, when they had to go through the same dark time that we went through when Trump was president, they know that they are still under the auspices of being white. So they're not losing anything. All this tax shit, all this other bullshit that they want to talk about, they know they're white and it's fine. When we lose out, when we are put in a position where we have candidates who definitely do not, who ignite the flames of racism and misogyny in this country and socialism and things like that, when we have a candidate who does that, we suffer greatly. And the only way we could ever get this is to stick together. And it is very hard for us to do that. You know, we've had companies, there's zero, I get flack for this every week. And people want to say, oh, you are aligning with Candace Owens. And it's like, I'm not. First of all, my forehead is not that big.
Oh, don't do that.
You're not a Republican.
I'm not a Republican. And I have enough Black women in my life that make sure that when I go and put myself on camera, for the most part, 90% of the time, my hair looks good. But I will say some of the talking points are, if we are so easily swayed, we've had companies who have done things from Banana Republic to Gucci who have done racist things, and we've had, like Pierre said, we have comments for people who go, "Oh, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Well, I'm still gonna get my shoes. We are a group of people that do that. No matter how many times someone slaps us in the face, we have no problem giving people our money. And when people know they can easily get the Black money, they will regard you at every turn. We do not make people earn it. You know who we make earn our money? Black people.
Black people.
Yeah, we Black people earn the money. Oh, I ain't fucking with him. He did this. She ain't give me enough crab cakes in the crab cake dinner. I ain't fucking with her. Can I discount? Can I do da-da-da-da? Can you give me free tickets to your show?
So I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say two things. In this country, Black people have always had to vote for the lesser of two evils, okay? And in most instances, that has been with the Democratic Party. We vote for them because they are the lesser of two evils, okay? The second thing is, I think by and large, well, I shouldn't say I think, by and large, Black people vote as a block more than any other group in this country, okay? We Black people vote as a block. Now, do we have some issues? Yes, we do. One of the things I saw yesterday was Robert Smith, you know, he's the richest Black man in America, is devoting his money and time and energy to putting good internet service in HBCUs, because right now it's crap, okay? And somebody said, well, he needs to be doing, well, why is it just Robert Smith's job? Where are the rest of us with this? Where are the rest of us in making sure that HBCUs that educate Black kids have adequate internet access? So I want to put that out there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we disagree at all. I'm saying the same thing. What I'm saying is we don't stick together and we don't support one another, which is what you just said. And until we find a way to support one another and have a stronghold, we have to go based upon the statistics that they put out, the FBI, the census, stuff like that. They're saying that we are 12% of the population, okay? And that
13.6.
Well, it was 13, then it was 12, then it went back up to 13.
Bullshit.
I don't know.
Can we get along, ladies? Damn. Y'all need a dinner. Y'all ladies need a dinner. How about y'all sit down and eat?
This is how sisters talk to each other, and we're good.
No, we're fine. Please. I don't know if the numbers keep changing back and forth because Pierre keeps changing whether he Black or white. Maybe that's
right. That's what it is. 13.6, 13.7. That's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
you know, at the end of the day, I think I do that we need to really focus on us and understand that some of it is, a lot of it is, like Pierre said, is emotion as well. You understand? And a lot of it is like, oh, we didn't do this, so we don't really kind of have this fortitude to stick. Listen, once we start to decide that we want to stick together, which this society is against, right? Because in every instance in history of Black people coming together as a community or sticking together, we have been murdered, the towns have been destroyed, they have done, so now they've sort of done this insular thing now where they've gotten Black men and Black women to disrespect and hate each other. They've sort of puffed up the white woman in this sort of demigod position. No, that's the thing about white men, I will tell you, no matter how ugly, unattractive, or fat a white woman is, they will not tear down all white women. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they understand that their power structure is in making sure that their counterpart is just maybe not as powerful as them, but more powerful than their enemy, so that they can together. And that's why white women, when they decide to vote Republican, they know while the equity in the pay is not there for them, they know that their husbands will be making up the difference that they don't make in pay, which is why they don't mind aligning themselves with white men and whiteness.
Now, I want to open up the floor. As you all know, we do have an in-live studio audience, and we do have an audience member, Nichelle Woods, a content creator, here in Atlanta, Georgia, that has a question for you all. So I'm going to open up the floor to her. Thank you, Nichelle, for joining us, and let us know your question.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much.
Hello.
My name is Nichelle Woods. I'm the founder of Mama Disciple. And I just had a question because I'm a 26-year-old young Black woman. I see the comments, I have conversations with my friends, and honestly, a lot of young Black people want Trump back. Why? Because they're looking at, oh, at least he gave us some stimulus money, and they're looking at their pockets, they're looking at the tax breaks, even though a lot of them are making some money. But that's besides the point. So my question is, what is the solution to this? What is the solution to people being concerned about their own finances? And that's the reason why they're, maybe looking towards Trump and maybe even wanting him to come back. How do we get people to come together and be focused on the larger picture rather than our own individual needs?
Okay, I was going to say, have you ever heard of Maslow's triangle of hierarchy needs? Have you ever heard of that?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, years ago, a psychologist put together a triangle, and the bottom is a physiological need. So you have to have, in order for us to move to progress emotionally or mentally, you have to have, first of all, food, water, a place to live and all of that. The second level is safety, okay? I think the majority of Black people never get above the second level. And what's at the top level is empathy, caring about other people, being concerned about your society. So I think that it has been intentionally done to keep us in the bottom two rungs. And those of us who are, have the means to move up, as you move up this hierarchy, you develop those things that I don't think the majority of Black people have the ability to get to just because where we are in society. We're on the bottom. Us and Indigenous people are at the very bottom of the hierarchy.
I like what our guest said again. Let me ask you, young lady, have you heard of certain things? Have you ever heard of Black people care more about their individual pockets than their culture rising like rockets? You ever heard that before? Since we're talking about her.
I haven't heard it, but I've definitely seen it. So yeah.
Okay. Well, that means we care more about what we can put in our pockets with Trump and other people, what's going to take care of me today, than we as a whole system, like you kind of said. So when Black people can realize the fight is bigger than just them, it's a bigger picture, then they won't just care about just their personal interests. Do you know what I'm saying? White folks don't always care about their personal interests at the moment. They see the bigger picture at times. Do you get what I'm saying? So they look at, okay, if I put these people in place, they'll take care of me down the line, not just today at this moment. We care how much money you put in my pocket today. It's a difference. That's my thing.
I'm in between. I'm with a middle age. I'm not young. I'm not old.
Nah, you ain't middle age.
Because we all know how many zeros is in your social security number.
Okay. All right.
I don't know what people are doing. I had, all I know is I can't really lean on a group of people that think, yeah is a song. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. You know what I mean? And all this, all that. But, listen, when so it would take somebody like you, right, to be informed to reach. And I think there's not enough tiers. I think we don't reach out to the young Black people in the way that they need to. But there's a lot of, as you get older and wiser, then politics and, sort of your environment becomes more important to you. Well, not more important, but you have more understanding of how much you have to get involved in order to sort of keep things, moving productively. So I think it takes a lot of young people to have that sort of understanding and then speak to other young people. I don't think I would be able to do it. I think somebody like you would be able to do it, smart young lady. You know what I'm saying? Like, and really have the knowledge to sort of like have these little small pockets of conversation, and that can move like a humongous movement. And I think that that's something that we don't do a lot in our community. I think we disrespect each other, not only just men and women, but, in terms of age. And, I don't think there's enough older people and younger people sort of coming together and saying, listen, I what's happening with your group, and I trust you in the wisdom that you have to speak to your group. And can you do that for us? I don't think we give enough of that responsibility. And I see the Republicans and white people do that shit a lot with these little white kids and the little white Republicans of America and the 4-H club and all this The bullshit. They start that shit very early with them, giving them the idea that they can move mountains and all that other shit. I'm surprised they let the Nickelodeon president be Black.
Michelle, there is one thing I want you to take away when you talk to these young Black people. Trump actually raised taxes on every person earning $75,000 a year or most. So look that up and share that with those young Black people. Trump did nothing for them, nothing. He gave more money to billionaires and millionaires, and he taxed anybody who made more than $75,000. Look it up.
Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely, and thank you.
And Yamanik, I got a lot of zeros in my bank account too with a number in front. Boo boo. Don't play me. Don't play me, boo. Don't play me, boo. You were looking at my bank account, not my social security number.
Thank you so much, Nichelle, for joining us, and thank y'all for responding to that. I really do appreciate it. Now, of course, before we head out, I do want to start with the work that you're doing, Ms. Regina Jackson. Again, thank you so much for joining us today and bringing your insight and research to this conversation. So before we go out, of course, I'd love to know what you have coming up. How can people follow you? And please tell us a little bit about your book as well as Race to Dinner.
Okay, here's my book, written
Nice.
by myself and Syra Rao. She's an Indian woman. So what Syra always says, she comes to get her people. She says, you Indians, you Asian people, you know you're not white, right? And they know you're not white. So why aren't we speaking up for people who are on the bottom? Okay, so I love Syra. She's been an inspiration to me. We're still doing dinners. Our documentary drops, Deconstructing Karen. You will see white women in all their glory. These people, our director actually did a casting call, and these white women signed up because they knew they were going to be on TV. It drops on Thanksgiving Day.
Yes.
Get it on iTunes. Make sure you watch that documentary and have conversations about it. We've been invited to be on the Dr. Phil show, and we will probably do that. We've been asked to be on a couple of Fox News shows, and I had the pleasure of writing them and say, our number one value is radical honesty. We don't see a fit with you, okay?
Nice.
So we're asking white women to do the work. As Syra says, their bar is so low, it's underground. So we say, when you see shit happening to people, say something. Open your mouth and say something. Stop allowing Black people and other people of color to be degraded, demeaned, dehumanized. We're all humans, go to your humanity.
Absolutely. And last and certainly not least, how can people keep up with you on social media so that they can follow this as it continues to drop and roll out?
We're on Instagram. We have Race to Dinner, and we also have Deconstructing site. We're on LinkedIn, so we have that also. And I'm an old lady, so I don't know how to do this stuff. So, if you email me, I'll email you back.
There we go. I like it. Old school, very simple. But thank you so much, Ms. Regina, for chiming in on this. And I love the great work that you're doing. Pierre, of course, I'm going to come over to you. What do you have coming up, and how can people follow you?
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Regina Jackson, for being on the show today. You have something coming out on Thanksgiving, so do I. I have a special dropping, Half Truth with Hype Plus. Thanksgiving, it's a comedy special. I talk about race relations, and so I hope y'all can enjoy that. Tonight, though, if you're in the Baltimore area, I'll be at Sully's. They're doing a comedy show. I'm headlining the show at Sully's. It's probably packed out already, but if you're in the Baltimore area, go to Sully's, check it out. You know where it's at. And my podcast, it's funny as ever, as always, man. Thank you for the support. For those who watch it and support it, it's on YouTube. Look up Pierre's Panic Room. Check it out. Again, thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. One shout out to my girl, Yamanik. I know you said you had a malignant narcissist in your relationship. Well, I dated a melanin narcissist one time. Okay, how about that? So we both had narcissists. You have malignant, I'll go with melanin. All right now.
And how can people follow you, Pierre?
Well, after that comment, really don't. Okay, forget that. I'm good. I'm good with not following me. Okay, come to the shows and watch the special on Thanksgiving Day. That's it.
I love it. Last and certainly not least, Miss Yamanika, what do you have coming up, and how can people follow you?
Well, first of all, I want to thank Miss Jackson. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I want to thank you so much for coming, and not only coming here and illuminating so much information for us, but coming here and being a married woman. Because you know the first thing these niggas do in the comment go, "Where her man at?" Everybody, she ain't got no man. Well, where she ain't no.
This has been so much fun.
Good. I'm glad you
Invite me back.
Good. Come back. I'm gonna leave you here by yourself with Pierre.
No. Ooh, really. Uh-oh.
Also, I want to say, look at this. And look at my family. Pierre, thank you for sending me this jacket. What an amazing, beautiful. I can't wait. I've had Pierre on my back all week.
Whoa. Well, I ain't the only one. Okay.
Thank you so much, Pierre. That just means so much to me. Listen, we are moving, we are grooving, we are coming together as much as we can as a community, and let's continue to, like, as individuals, think about the things that we can do to make things better. So I'm also going to see if I can have a few dinners with white women as well, and ask them to sponsor me.
Actually, let me tell you, we are doing Zooms. We did our first one last night, but starting next year, we'll do monthly showing women of color how we do that work.
Well, I'm gonna be in there. I'm gonna be zooming. I'm gonna have the camera off because, you know, I'm probably gonna be in a bad lace front and I'm gonna need my underwear.
Hell no.
So any Black, Indigenous, Asian, non-white women who want to do this work.
I want nothing but brown women next to me. Okay, that's it. And then white women, you know, we'll talk to them when we get our shit together.
Well, invite me. I'm single. I'm kind of holla at the party.
Wait a minute. I didn't say our famous. People ask us, why don't you talk to white men? If those fuckers wanted to do something, they'd have done it by now.
Right?
We're not trying to die.
Okay. Ooh. They got the key. They know what's going on. This has been such a fun time. What a great time. And also shout out to Symphony, who spent a half a day in Las Vegas, came back dressed like Whitney Houston, and you can't tell her nothing. So hard with this outfit today. I'm under.
You know, Symphony, you get them, girl.
I appreciate you so much, Yamanika. Of course, Yamanika, I need to know, I don't know if you mentioned, how can people make sure people follow you and keep up with all your goodness that you're putting out?
Absolutely. Oh, first of all, I'm gonna be at Magooby's, so I'm gonna see Pierre. Pierre better stop by. I'm gonna be at Magooby's for the Thanksgiving weekend, the 25th and the 26th. Come, listen. I'm from Baltimore, so I know what's going on. Don't come with no nigga shit, okay?
But you don't want to come to Baltimore then, okay?
No,
that's why I'm here with you.
Exactly why I don't like to perform in my hometown. But I'm telling you, don't come with the nigga shit. Let's have a good time. Okay, but I'll be at Magooby's the 24th and 25th, and you can follow me at Big Bertha with 2 cats, ain't got no man, Samuels was right.com. And yes, I did mention him, and they're gonna be in the comments going, oh, why she was gonna bring up Kevin Samuels? Because y'all won't let him die.
Well, Thanksgiving, I won't be available. I have 2 white women over my house for dinner. Talking about you niggas. How about that, okay?
I appreciate you all for chiming in on this topic. Of course, it's always a good time. Again, thank you so much, Ms. Regina, for chiming in and joining us today. Now, you heard from us. Now, we want to hear from you in the comments below. What are your thoughts of D.L. Hughley responding to Trump running for office? For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
Put it in those comments.
Please put it in the comments. Big fan of the Comedy Hype News Show? Well, now you can join us live in studio for lunch at Comedy Hype. Click the link down below in our description or go to our Instagram page and click the link in our bio for your chance to RSVP. I hope to see you here for Comedy Hype News. I'm Symphony Thompson.